Mufussy and Galeer.
Kick it off, MrGaleer.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dropkick, the Commute, where one is in a car sometimes.
But not today.
Not today. Nope. No, sir. How are you, Mufussy?
I'm good. How are you? I'm a little eepy, but I'm
so
chilling.
sleepy. Hey, I said I was gonna take a nap before this. I didn't.
So you lied to me.
Well, no, I tried, and I don't think that's lying if you tried to do the thing and couldn't do it. I couldn't. I have a thing where I'm like hyper aware of my heartbeat.
Yeah.
And heart's racing today, man. Something's going on. Yeah, I was just like, wow, my heart sure is beating fast. I guess I'm not gonna sleep. If I'm watching something and they do like that thing where they like, they emphasize the person's heartbeat, to emphasize like the feel. Yeah, I like freak out because I'm like, is that like I think it's my own?
Is that me? Is that mine?
Is that mine?
Oh man, would you say that your heart is racing from the ending to Friday Night Smackdown? Or Triple H presenting Travis Scott with the WWE Hardcore Championship?
Do you see this?
Do you see this? Goosebumps?
These are dinks boomps.
Oh.
These are goosies.
Wow. Before we talk about that, though, I want to talk about what I did do.
You're not supposed to tell.
I'll bleep it out. I'll bleep it out.
You're not supposed to tell them that.
What I did today was watch the Ruthless Aggression documentary series on Peacock.
You watched the whole thing?
I watched all 2 seasons yet.
How many episodes was it?
It's like 5 each.
In one day?
Yeah, they're like half hour, 45 minutes each.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't know. But anyway, what I did want to say was I was watching this and I couldn't help but think, wow, there's a lot of parallels here to AEW. Because they were trying to figure out, they were in this position where they bought their competition. They bought WCW. Stone Cold was like, all right, I'm out of here. The Rock was like, okay, I'm out of here. So they're stuck in this new era, the Ruthless Aggression era. And they don't have any stars because everyone's in developmental and they're starting to, they get tough enough and all that stuff. But they're in this period where they don't have any stars, but they have a fuck ton of talent. And at that point, Raw and SmackDown, there wasn't really a split. There was just 2 shows. There's just Raw and SmackDown. You had people carrying over, stories carrying over, one championship. And, everyone's like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is great. But then it started to have a little decline. Fans not showing up as much and all that stuff. And then Vince was like, hey, we're doing a brand split. Here's a draft. And it took years, but it solved the majority of their problems. With stars, and obviously developmental helped that OVW class. But the thing that happened from doing that was all of the talent that they did have had an opportunity to shine in their own stories on SmackDown and their own stories on Raw. And I think, like we've talked about before, if AEW considers a brand split, you could have major Collision stars. You could have major Dynamite stars with less carryover, and I think it would help.
I was gonna say that's how it started.
Yeah,
they had like some pretty solid, main characters.
Yeah, and that was like a pseudo brand split because CM Punk was on Collision. He started Collision, and he said, "This is the Collision show,"
Yeah, but like I will say, it's kind of there now for certain stories.
But at the top of the card, and I mean, you can even see it with Mox and everything right now. I know the whole thing is, Mox is trying to change AEW from the inside out, but
yeah,
he carries over. He's on every show.
That's true.
Swerve was on every single show. You had make the TNT title the main title of Collision if you want.
It might as well be.
Right, exactly. And then you have the World Championship on Dynamite, their flagship show. And then Rampage can fucking disintegrate. I don't care about it, but...
And then Shockwave.
Shockwave! We haven't heard anything about that in a few weeks, so... I feel like if they do that, if they make Shockwave an actual thing, like the rumors we're heating up, they gotta do something, man, you know?
Will they survive on Fox?
They'd survive. I have no... it's not a question of whether or not they're going to die. I don't think they're going to die. Because also think now, like, Fox doesn't have a wrestling show. SmackDown did good numbers. I have no doubt AEW would do the same, but it's like...
Well, yeah, but AEW is going to die in 2 years.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
It's just Tony Khan with his dad's money playing with action figures or whatever.
Goo goo
gaga, I'm Tony Khan. In my opinion, I don't think it's not a question of whether or not they're dying. They're fine. They're gonna exist forever, for a long time at least. I don't know about forever, but they're gonna exist for a long time. And I think to fix the story, like, I do think they're in a good path right now with Mox and everything. And I'm interested to see where this plays out, because some good things are happening, but you have a lot more bad than good. So it's like, I don't know, fix some stuff, you know?
Yeah, I think we'll get there. I always think about when I read these comments and people are like, boo hoo AEW, goo, whatever. WWE sucked like this time 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like there was a point where AEW was the show that I would only watch. Which means, and WWE has been in that position several times where they're insufferable and they're not watchable.
Yeah.
These are just things that happen. Like AEW, I think, will get back to a spot where they are watchable and things make sense again.
Yeah.
Me and Kevin, friend of the show, we were chatting because he was like, "Oh, I haven't watched in a while," and I was like filling him in on everything, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know, like just some things don't make sense." And the more I was thinking about it, is like the more I see, there's this like assumption that AEW fans will remember everything that has happened, or that all AEW fans are on Twitter, which is a terrible thing to do. Is just assuming everyone's on social media. I mean, we are.
Yeah.
We kind of can pick up on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but for the casual viewer, there are a lot of things that don't make sense just because they expect you.
If you have someone right now that's like never seen AEW before and you show them AEW now, I don't think the product now is going to be enough to hook like a new viewer.
Even on Wednesday, fucking... Big AJ is going to be there, and he has a match against QT Marshall and all this stuff, and it's like, you wouldn't know that if you weren't on the internet. You'd be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, right. They advertise Big A. And exactly, if you're not on the internet, if you're especially not on TikTok, you see that, and
you're like,
who? Who's that?
Yeah.
Who? Unless you're a very niche member of the audience that like was a fan of his on the indies.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too, is like, the outreach of AEW is a lot more it's indie, you know.
Yeah.
It's the hardcore fan base that watches New Japan and Stardom and GCW and Ring of Honor and all that stuff. So I don't think there's a lot of missing pieces. There's a lot of uncertainty as to who our like main characters are. Really, it's like, well, I started watching AEW at the beginning before they even went on TV. It was very much established. Your main characters were Cody Rhodes, the Elite, you know, the Young Bucks, Kenny, Hangman, and then you had your new guys coming in, and like, again, you could kind of follow what was going on. And right now, it's like, if someone tunes in and sees a Moxley segment, he doesn't carry the belt with him.
Yeah.
So people might be,
Yeah,
which
be
is
like,
a good
who's the
thing.
world champ?
It's a great, yeah, it's a great thing, like the angle they're doing, but you wouldn't know it,
Right?
Because they just kind of took the belt and shoved it away.
They do say it on commentary, but it's like, okay, why doesn't he wear it? You know, like he won and all this stuff. That makes sense, because even like when I started watching, right, like one of my concerns when I started watching AEW was like, oh, I'm not really gonna know a lot of people. And you're like, dude, it's fine. And then I watched All Out, and it was really easy for me to like learn everybody and learn the stories going on. But now, if I hopped in right now at this moment, I don't think I could follow a lot of the shit, just because it's like there's a lot of random stuff and a lot of social media build. Half the times the social media vignettes and video packages are better than what's on TV.
Which is, I don't get why they don't just air them on TV, because like the thing with Johnny TV eating pizza after his match, that was only on social media. I think that wasn't on the episode.
Right?
Why not put it in the episode? Put it,
I don't know. It's such a funny segment too.
I feel like it was a goofy segment, but it was kind of important. Important segment.
I don't know. AEW's a little whack right now, like usual. But let's start off with that. Let's work backwards this week. Since we started with AEW in the first place, we're building up to the November to Remember.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, we had a cool video package with music video with Guns N' Roses, November Rain, and it was recapping the past 4 weeks of TV leading up to Full Gear. Really cool. I liked it. I don't know. There were some people that were like, "This was shit." Fuck you. It's good. It's fun.
Everything's shit, man.
AEW's dying. Let's talk about my two favorite matches of the night. Mariah May versus Anna Jay, no DQ, AEW Women's Championship, and Shelton Benjamin versus Commander, bro. Also, just to quickly cover, since we talked about Johnny TV versus Daniel Garcia, great match, and MXM came out. Mason Madden interfered. He did like a little German suplex on the apron, and then he just sat there and was like, I didn't do anything. I'm just here looking good.
It's so over the top.
It's so over the top and dumb. I fucking love it so much. And I am so excited for more stuff with Johnny TV and MXM, because they are just so funny.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. And that reel you sent me today of the pizza segment was so good. I didn't see it by myself until you showed it to me, but basically,
you might have missed it.
Exactly,
you would have missed it.
Yeah, outline what that was.
So Johnny TV is sitting there eating pizza after he lost his match to Daniel Garcia. MXM showed up, and they're like, "Oh, great, he lost. Now he's resorting to carbs," and then they lift him up, and they're kind of just giving him a little pep talk, and he's like, "You know what? You're right." And then he was like, "Can I tell you guys something that I've never told anyone before?" And then he starts going off about the intestinizer, which I don't even know, is it like a move? I don't know. But he says, I can, and whoever I do the intestinizer to, they poop their pants in 3 days. And it was just like the most random, like, I thought he was going to confide in them about some like secret. And it was just like, yeah, I can make people shit their pants.
It's just so fucking.
And then he proceeds to get up, walk off screen, and then start doing head spins on the pizza box. And they just sit there and watch him, and they're like, "Wow, he's still going." Yeah. It was very cool, very funny. One of the more entertaining segments that they did, and for some reason it wasn't on TV. So I don't control that though, but
you should.
They should. Yeah, I should.
DM Tony Khan.
I'm in charge of the production truck.
Oh, are you leading the revamp that they're going to do?
Yeah, it's me. The revolution.
Hell yeah.
After the Daniel Garcia match is very important. During the match, Daddy Magic was on commentary, and Jack Perry showed up and kidnapped him.
Yeah.
Kidnapped a man that's like twice his size.
Yep.
And I feel like he could easily take him. My favorite thing is that Jack Perry just always does like mischief, gets into mischief, and then will almost always pay the price. Yeah. Getting lit on fire.
Yep.
Now he's getting tied to his own bus and getting driven into the guardrails. Daniel Garcia wins his match and finds out Daddy Magic's gone.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to backstage where Jack Perry is tying him to the back of his bus with a chain. Daniel Garcia finds him, and then they take Jack Perry to beat him up, and then they tie him to the front of the truck, and then they just ram it into like through guardrails
and then
on
down
the
the
hood.
street, presumably taking him for a drive around the city. Like,
yeah. But my favorite thing is he just doesn't learn his lesson.
yeah.
But he somehow is still on top.
Yeah, he's
still champ.
He always gets into this shit. Like, he'll start something and then he always gets fucked up afterwards.
Yeah, it's good.
So good.
I'm still convinced Daniel Garcia is gonna win.
I am too. I really want him to.
It's time. It
is time, and it makes sense.
Been like 6 months.
The Young Bucks, lost their titles. They're working from home now.
Maybe Jack Perry can go work from home.
Jack Perry could go work from home, or I don't know, something will happen with him. Now, can we talk about Mariah May and Anna Jay? Please, can we talk about?
It was good.
It was good. It was very good. I liked it a lot.
Very wonderful match.
Some crazy ladder spots. There's a ladder spot in the corner. Fucking suplex onto the ladder. Crazy spot where they took one of the barricades, set it up on like chairs, made a bridge with it, superplex onto it. That thing, they were hyping it up on commentary. They were like, oh, this has no give. It had no give. It did not bend. It did nothing. Like, they both landed on that, and holy shit. Yeah. Couple of table spots here, and Anna Jay ended up wrapping barbed wire around her arm. Kind of a throwback to the match you told me about last week.
Did you watch it?
I did, yes.
It was great.
I did. It was very good. And yeah, I was like, oh, like I was like pointing at the screen. I was like, she's doing the bit. So she put the barbed wire around her arm, starts to choke out Mariah May. Mariah May has a unlabeled spray canister of
I think
something.
some got in Bryce Remsburg's eyes.
Yeah, right. After he's done counting, he's like, ah. But
yeah,
she took it, sprayed Anna Jay behind her to stop the chokehold, hits the Storm Zero, pins her.
Oh, nasty Storm Zero.
Absolutely crazy.
She didn't even get, like, I know it's kind of like a very quick modified pile driver where you almost just kind of sit into it. You don't even really lift them up, but she really did not lift her up at all.
At all, dude.
It looked like people are saying Kevin Owens pile driver was like the safest pile driver ever. This was like the unsafest one I've seen in a while. It was gnarly. And then she won with the Storm Zero. And we learn that instead of having a match at Full Gear, her and Mina will be having a champagne celebration.
Yeah, I love how Mina ran out after this match, and she's like, she's like hugging her, kissing her, holding her arm up, and then Mariah like goes to beat on Anna Jay some more, and Mina's like, no, stop. Yeah, so they're gonna have a championship celebration. Are we gonna see Toni Storm come back during that celebration?
100%.
Sick.
It's at first I was like, because Deanna and Taya were watching the match.
Yeah.
I don't think no offense to them, I don't think a pay-per-view segment would just be for just that. I think Tony's gonna come back.
I agree. Are we gonna see timeless Toni Storm or a different version of Toni Storm?
Better be timeless.
It better be. I wouldn't mind timeless Toni Storm, but like an unhinged version of her.
Well, I want the one from All Out.
Yeah.
Or All In.
Yeah.
I think that's the version I want,
Peak like timeless.
Are you willing to die for this kind of Toni Storm?
Yeah. And then Shelton Benjamin versus Commander. I really like this match. There's been a lot of YouTube comments lately that are like, oh my god, Shelton Benjamin's just gonna get buried in 3 weeks anyway. It doesn't matter. Bottom card collisioner. It's been how many weeks now? A month? Shelton Benjamin's great.
He wrestled a flippy bullshit match.
He did a flippy bullshit match, and it was...
He wrestled the style.
It was badass. I love this match, so...
I love Shelton. Yeah. He's always been a favorite wrestler of mine. I'm not just saying that because, you know, he's in AEW now. He is an athletic... He's a machine.
Yeah.
He's a freak.
He's an athletic freak.
Exactly, and there's something to be said about that. And also, we got a good Lio Rush video, where he's basically like, you know, watch out for me. I'm the man of the hour. I'm coming. I think he's joining Hurt Business. I'm glad they're giving him some more of a spotlight because he just kind of. So he came into AEW like a few years ago, and then he left kind of from some beef with Tony Khan over how he was booking black wrestlers. And then he kind of disappeared. And then when Lio Rush kind of showed back up and was with Top Flight and stuff, it kind of was just like, oh, there's Lio Rush. So I'm glad he's getting more of a spotlight. Because when he was away from AEW, he was like in Japan and GCW, and he was like racking up some W's and having good matches. So
if he joins Hurt Business, or Hurt Syndicate, I would not mind that at all. I really do think like they're going to be a very powerful, strong faction in AEW.
I don't think they'll fumble the bag with them.
Yeah, I don't think so at all, because they have a golden opportunity here, and I think Tony Khan sees that, and I think that's why he's putting so much, like, he's giving them a lot of TV time, first of all, and second of all, like, Bobby Lashley's going against Swerve at Full Gear.
Right.
Like, that's a crazy match to start.
That's a big match, yeah. Agreed.
And I think he knows what he's got here, and I don't think he's going to let this one die off, you know?
No, and I think it'd be crazy to let it die, and especially just seeing how everything went in the Fed.
Yeah, in the Fed. Yeah. If he really wants to use that as motivation to stick it to WWE and say, look, I made them good, how come you couldn't? Let's hop over to Smackdown on Friday. Pretty good episode of Smackdown. It was decent. Nothing crazy, kind of like the rest of this week, but it was good. We had a really good ending here. Some decent matches as well. We are starting our Women's United States tournament, which will be finished off at Saturday night's main event. So the title match will take place there, the finals. And our first match this week was B-Fab versus Bayley versus everyone's favorite WWE Women's Speed Champion, Candice LeRae.
Yes, that they show the championship on her in the graphic, but that she does not physically ever have.
I thought this was a decent match. I thought B-Fab looked really good. We don't see B-Fab perform that
She is
often.
Like doesn't wrestle.
Right, but when she does, it's like, oh damn, she can hang. You know?
She was actually really good in this.
Yeah.
I very, very low key thought she was gonna win.
Yeah.
And there was a point where like you thought she would, just because she was doing good, and then, you know, got a couple of roll ups. But I think we had a feeling Bayley's gonna make it pretty close. Well, it's only a few matches. I think it's like 5 or 6 matches before the finals, right? Because they're all triple threat.
There's 4 and then
2 and 2.
Yeah. So there's 4 triple threat matches and then semifinals and finals, actually.
Just
so
glancing at the bracket, it's looking like Bianca and Jade.
I think so.
Think that's what we're getting to.
Will they lose the titles beforehand, or will they have this match, have some turmoil, and then lose the titles? Or will they keep the titles?
They could go anyway. I would love to see some heat going into it, you know?
I would too, because I don't think they're working as a tag team.
I don't think... No, they're not. Nothing's really...
I think it's time.
It's time, and like, what better way to actually like make people... Obviously, this match people have been caring about for a while, but like make them care about it a little more.
Yeah.
Have like someone turn on someone. I don't know if Bianca can be a heel.
I don't think so either.
She seems like a Roxanne Perez type, where she's just like too bubbly and like not convinced.
Well, she's
but
also
I think
like
she might have been a heel in NXT.
really. I don't know.
Know,
on the main roster, I don't see her turning heel because she is also like, she's the Make-A-Wish lady, you know,
right?
Charity
Yeah,
Make-A-Wish lady.
I mean, so was Roman.
Roman's different though.
Why is Roman different?
Because he's a heel that people like.
Okay, well if it comes down to Bianca and Jade, who do you think it's going to?
Bianca.
I think it would be. Oh, I was gonna say Jade.
I'm gonna say Bianca because I think
Jade needs work.
I don't think Jade needs work. I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh my god, she's so green. She should have been in NXT. Like, yeah, she's had some fumbles. Yes, she's had a few fumbles. But also, like, for your first United States Women's Champion, Bianca's a big name for it, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
And she can hop between the brands and do whatever. I think she could.
Yeah.
If you want this title to start off with some prestige, give it to Bianca. Multi-time women's champion and
yeah,
you know,
yeah, okay.
Just big name.
Right.
That's what I think, but
okay.
Jade would be interesting.
Jade would be good. That's my TBS champion right there.
Yeah, decent match to start the show. LA Knight versus Berto. I didn't care. It was an open challenge, yeah, and I was like, why is Legato coming out? I don't know. It's an open challenge. I get it.
Would you say the U.S. title reign is falling flat? Because it's falling flat on me.
I don't think it's falling flat. It's just the only reason I think it feels flat so far is because they would focus so much on a fucking Andrade versus Carmelo thing, and LA Knight was kind of there, and then they had the triple threat, and it's like, okay, like.
Yeah,
that's
true.
why though, because the focus has been on them the whole time, and LA Knight is on the sideline. Like,
right.
If you want, like, if they want to keep having this open challenge thing, keep having it. But also, like, Berto, I don't know. Why didn't Escobar do it?
Right, yeah, Escobar. I feel like he had like one little match, and then it was just like, okay, now here comes Legado del Fantasma. Who showed up after the match, Mufussy?
I completely forgot about this. LA Knight is doing his little celebration, standing there. Shinsuke Nakamura is back. Fucking attacks LA Knight, and he's like, you know, Shinsuke.
He's got the face paint on.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Heel Shinsuke.
Heel Shinsuke. This is why I think it's not going to fall flat anymore. I think, you know, they're going to have a nice little feud here. I love Shinsuke.
What was the last time we saw him, though? Was with
Long
Seth,
time ago, yeah.
Fastlane. I think with Seth, and that was...
Oh, my God.
The beginning of this year.
Yeah.
They had their last man standing.
Yep.
And I thought Shinsuke was going to win, because I was like... I was all burnt out from Seth being world champ. He's allegedly happy just being in big feuds and not winning championships, which, you know, I respect it.
Good on him. Nia Jax versus Naomi. N-A-O.
You texted me that, and I was like, someone arrest this man.
Let's go!
We'll just like randomly text each other like the Def Rebel like ad libs for the theme song.
I'll go a storm, and then you go is coming. God. Yeah, I should really screenshot some of our shit sometimes and just post that
compilation.
Yeah, it's a Def Rebel compilation in our text. God. Oh man. Yeah, Nia Jax versus Naomi. Nia Jax retains.
Of course.
Yeah, expected nothing less. And Tiffany came out. Liv Morgan came out. Well, Liv Morgan and Raquel attacked Bianca and Jade backstage. Interesting there. Tiffany showed up to try and help Nia Jax. Bayley came out, took out Tiffany. Candice LeRae showed up, took out Bayley. And then Nia Jax won with an Annihilator. So kind of messy.
There's only one way to solve all this.
A 6-woman fatal 6-way.
War game!
War games! Yeah.
Cody had a good little promo with Nick Aldis.
Yeah, I like that.
He said, yeah, I mean, the spark notes is that he's just like, for some reason, Nick Aldis is very strict with his matchmaking. Meanwhile, he's like very conservative. And then meanwhile, Adam Pearce is just like, fuck it, it's a fucking match.
Yeah,
yeah, it's official. And then you're done. But Nick Aldis, for some reason, does not want Cody to face Kevin Owens.
It comes from the people up top. I have to listen.
Okay. Yeah. Well, guess what? Your brand sucks.
The people up top, Triple H just sitting back there right now. Go talk to him.
He said, if you don't book this match, I'm going to go over there to his house. I know where he lives. And I'm just going to go beat him up in front of his wife and kids.
Yeah.
I think we're getting that at Survivor Series. That'll be good.
Make it a last man standing match. Fuck it.
Sure, man.
Adam Pearce would.
Make it a last man standing match. And then right before Cody's about to win, Tony Khan shows up and says he's bought WWE. And then The Rock comes out and does a rock bottom to Tony Khan.
Pull the power.
And reverses the decision. And then Kevin Owens wins and becomes WWE champion. But then The Rock cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase that he just invented
The Rock
and won.
Cashes in the people's title. For the real WWE championship, and then it has a contract on the back of it that says this can be cashed in at any time. Thanks to the great Muhammad Ali.
It's like the X Division. You can give it up for a shot at the world title.
Is that a thing?
Do that. Yeah, it's called Option C.
Do people do that?
Yeah.
What happens to it?
They vacate it.
What?
That championship has been vacated so many times. That's how Josh Alexander did it. He was X Division and then cashed in Option C and then challenged Christian.
See, why don't we have more wacky shit like that? Sometimes I just want some of those TNA rules.
People clown on TNA, but like they're doing something different, man.
Yeah,
like they are
goofy
shit
over there.
Like, look, I remember someone tweeted the graphics of the winners, and it was like Nick Nemeth, the Hardys, and then like, and someone was like, "Really? Come on, man!" Because like it is like you look at first glance, it's pretty goofy. It's like, oh, Dolph Ziggler and the Hardys, but in the context of like TNA, it's like good.
Yeah.
From an outside perspective, you're like, what the fuck?
You're like, what is going on over there?
That's why they're great.
Yeah. Well, like an interview I saw with I want to say it was with Jordan Grace. She was like, yeah, bro, it's the island of misfit toys. Like, we're just chilling over here.
I love it.
They're doing their own thing. To end off SmackDown, we had a really, really good segment here where, old bloodlines facing new bloodline. They can't find a fifth. Who's going to be the fifth? They don't know. Bronson Reed comes out and attacks Roman.
I got some opinions. Again, I still don't agree with it because they don't have anything to do with it. But then I learned that Bronson Reed is Samoan.
But he's not.
He's not the bloodline, but he's not Samoan with them. Yeah. But what better way to fit someone in the bloodline? And then on the other side, you just got Roman, the Usos, and two white dudes.
We're going to have Seth on the OG side. We're going to have Bronson Reed on the other side. But my thing that I have with this is Seth, like, you can kind of understand a little bit because he was at WrestleMania and he has so much history with Roman. And yeah, he's a piece of shit to him, but Seth was also a piece of shit to Roman. And you have all this shit there.
Bronson Reed is the
Bronson Reed is just there, and he's in there, but you don't need him to involve Seth. And I feel like they think that they do when you could have another Fatu or fucking put The Rock in there, bro.
I think he'll have some kind of influence on the match.
I think so too, but it's just like, I don't know. Bronson Reed is just such an odd choice to throw in here, and I feel like they were like, how do we get Seth in there? And they're like, oh, Bronson Reed. It's like, you don't need it. Big Bronson Reed. But anyway, the OG bloodline gets decimated, and in the ring, Roman and Jay are there, and Jay's like, make the call loose. Make the call. It cuts back later. Roman is on his couch, sitting in his locker room, and he takes his phone and he goes, call the wise man.
Sorry, Siri would have already like stopped listening with that much of a pause.
Who do you want me to call?
Yeah, I was waiting for it to be like, okay, who would you like to call?
Crowd's going crazy, and you hear beep, beep, beep. The number you're trying to reach is not in service. And then Roman drops his phone. He's like, oh my God.
He's like,
he's fucked up, dude. He drops his phone. He's like, oh my God, the wise man. He's dead. Don't hit me up.
He just never got a new phone after his old one was yoinked.
Yeah, which is so funny to me.
He's got to show. Oh my God, The Rock's gonna have him backstage during the War Games match. Paul Heyman's gonna be a bloody mess.
He's gonna throw Paul Heyman out there,
and then he's gonna be, "I'm sorry, Final Boss. I'm sorry." Remember that swerve that Paul Heyman pulled on Brock, and then on Roman, and then on Brock?
Yeah.
Like the switch that he did.
Yeah.
Let's do one of those with the Rock.
Paul Heyman just flip flops behind him, and then Roman finds Paul and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And he goes, "You just don't understand. This is bigger than you."
Oh my God. That's the new that's like the new theme.
Yeah.
This is bigger than you. This is bigger than me.
Survivor Series 2 weeks away. AEW Full Gear this Saturday. Very exciting. And Big Boom AJ on the pre-show.
Yeah, I can't wait to see QT Marshall made a diss track.
I know. It was
pretty bad.
It was so bad.
But in that same respect, I mean, the type of the genre, right?
Yeah,
it's no Hurt Syndicate theme song. That's all I'm saying.
It's something, but anyways, hopefully this week will be a bit more. Whoo! You know what I mean? Feel like we had little.
I need like a jolt.
Yeah, give me a little jolt.
I need something to make me, rejuvenate me.
Yeah, maybe that's why we're so tired, because we don't have constant adrenaline. Adrenaline in my soul.
Well, that's why the last 3 or 4 Dropkick the Commute episodes have been like less than 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just, there's nothing going on. I feel like that's a good indicator.
Yeah. If Dropkick the Commute is not an hour long, wrestling sucks that week. To be fair, we haven't been talking about TNA either. We could add that in there, but oh man. You know what else is weird?
Oh wait, ready? Edit this in. That
98.3%
of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel.
Woo! Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, give us 5 stars. Leave a comment down below. Write us a review. Keep on following, liking, sharing on the TikToks and all that stuff, and we appreciate the support. Thank you for 3,000 YouTube subscribers, almost 2 million views. That's a lot of eyeballs. You're gonna say that
3,000 is almost 2 million.
Almost 2 million views on YouTube. That's nutty. That's a big number. Thank you guys.
That's a big
boom. That gets 5 big booms. Boom. Boom.
He's actually doing them.
Boom. Boom. A beep beep.
That was good. You had me in the first half.
Dropkick the Commute, shining bright in the